So next here is, so we're now going to the hospitality industry. So obviously during the pandemic, many industries are significantly affected, and none more so than the hotel industry. Obviously, some have to shut down, convert their businesses to different facilities to accommodate the pandemic and so forth. And now hotels are trying to find ways to uh, gain gain their visitors back by means of subscriptions. Let's take a closer look here. So when you say subscription, meaning similar to how Netflix offer their subscription base. Now, is it viable in this concept? Obviously, streaming service is totally different from uh, subscription based on a hospitality industry here. You're offering a service. Now, can they do the same model here? You know, we'll see. Let's take a closer look. Okay. So again, so hospitality operators, let's see here. Where is it? There you go. So hospitality operators are now trying to use or hoping on-demand stays could be the next must-have membership. Obviously, the difficulty of the travel industry, as it's affected with the pandemic, such hotels, big chain hotels in particular, Intercontinental Hotels Group, Marriott, and Accor are among the major names that have launched and considering monthly payment plans. So obviously, they're trying to attract, not just visitors or travelers at that, but attracting restless remote workers ready for change of scene, which is reasonable if you think about it. But is it valuable or worth it if you're a worker that obviously you're mindful of the safety, but apart from the safety, how much are you willing to spend to work in a hotel wherein you can work at home, or either that you work in your regular office? And one of their rates or their subscription base is they're offering a monthly rate that ranges from a little over $1,000, so that's around 50 to 60,000 pesos. Uh, so intercontinental guests can already enjoy varying access to their hotels facilities, workspaces, rooms, and facilities. So under the new work from hotel packages. Now obviously $1,000 to stay, regardless how many days they would assume that a person would stay, is not practical if you think about it. And is this going, for an individual, or would a company shell this expenses? Very unlikely. Now, obviously, they can target a more high-end customers, maybe business travelers. That would be a more appropriate business model to target those types of customers. Now, obviously, what do we have here? Yeah. So obviously, other hotels such as Accor, they're targeting monthly fees as mentioned, repurposing rooms into private gyms, and even recording studio. I think this is a more practical approach in terms of, obviously, if people are concerned in terms of staying in, or staycations like they call it, and then why not just find people within the area that can take advantage of their resources and facilities to repurpose them into, like I mentioned, converting into gyms and even recording studios as well. And I think they can use it for other studios as well, not just for recording, but whether work related. So there are opportunities here that they can look into. Also, Marriott is also considering their plans. Uh, Obviously, there's after watching how the subscription based like Netflix, Peloton, and Spotify are generating revenues there, so they're trying to replicate if that's even possible. Well, for me, it's rather unlikely if you think about it, because if you're offering a subscription based like Netflix, obviously you have a plethora of films or videos that you can stream, and it's easily accessed by your customers. Now, if you're a hotel industry, or if you're a hotel chain, you're offering the plethora of hotels, worldwide. But the problem is people are restricted in their travel, so how can they take advantage of that? And in terms of pricing, that's the whole point of, you only pay when you're supposed to be staying there. So subscription based, unless it's very affordable, would be, not appealing as much if I were in that position. But anyway, so obviously now's the good time to consider different models that would help the hotel stay afloat until such a time people can go back to their normal activities and start traveling again. Now, obviously, one of the main hurdles, as mentioned, is the traveling restrictions. So obviously, it has pushed, way deep into the latter part of the year, or could be even sometime next year before people can comfortably start traveling again. And another way is maybe hotels can target locals for the subscription base, which is again a reasonable model. But again, is it logical for people? If I were in that place, why would I pay for a subscription base if I would just want to stay, let's say, a day or two, even a week at most, then pay for that entire duration rather than, I can come in and out. So it's similar like if I'm renting a house like that or an apartment. Unless there's a compelling reason to stay there, then it's very unlikely if the benefits of user may be seen as an advantage rather than a disadvantage. But either way, it's also stated that it is not clear what value propositions would be for this pandemic when globally travel restrictions and consumer sentiments are variable. So that's not assurance, obviously. So question here is, change in consumer behavior such as social distancing, reduced travel, and increased remote work is a key factor here. So obviously this creates opportunities for many businesses, not just the hotel industry, to establish new habits and create opportunities to generate more revenue, not just in the short term, but also in the long